What's up, guys? Welcome back for another episode of the GhettoRig podcast. For those who don't know, my name is Eddie. To my left, we have my co-host Jay, and behind the scenes with his own camera over there, we've got Mr. Miggy. Before we get
Uh,
into it,
oh,
let's
it's rotate cam. I'm right here. I'm right
yeah,
here. I'm like Miggy cam. Miggy. Okay.
yeah, not the same one anymore.
Different one. Different one.
Yeah, he got an upgrade, so he's still a little confused over there.
Yeah. Still working on.
Before we
Getting
get
used to
into
all
it,
this.
guys, I want to make sure we mention our official sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So UFC Gym Largo and Pinellas Park. Shout out Zen and the whole Largo crew. You guys are awesome over there. Vitality Wellness Centers as well on Park Street and 4th Street in St. Petersburg. So go check all those things out. Links in the description. Go ask for Corey at the UFC Gym. So what do we got for today, boys? I know we have a week of pod that we've missed, due to
Like and
storming,
subscribe,
storms, and like and subscribe, of course, guys. We love the engagement. I'm sure we'll see some of you guys in the chat again.
Before we go
Hi to you guys first. What's up?
into anything, let me just let go of that one thought.
Yeah. You had something brewing for
Yeah.
a little minute now.
So, you know how starting a job is kind of like daunting. You don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you do everything wrong. Like
I'm
there's-
going through that right
yeah.
now. Yeah, literally.
That's exactly how this fucking podcast started, dude.
Yeah.
Like we took like 45 minutes to an
set up.
hour and shit would still just break mid podcast. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's
Versus
going
now
on?
it's like 5 minutes before the pod. It's like, all right, now we wake up Eddie. Bam, 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 bam. How long have you guys been here?
Bro, I've been
just
here
got here.
since 8:30.
Nigga, why didn't you wake me up?
Talking to your dad, bro.
Oh.
Chimoso.
But yeah, at the same time, Jay knows I only needed 5 minutes to get ready. Even we're late, but it really wasn't because of me getting ready. It was
At this point, we
new amp.
troubleshoot everything on the fly too. You know what I mean?
That's
So-
true. But we new amp. Today's the first day we're using the new amp, and
Yeah, guys, give us thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Just let us know
I
how it
think
works.
we should sound a little louder and a little clearer. I don't know why. I realized I put all the gain settings to the same one as the previous amp because it's the same amp. It's just more inputs.
I think this one is better though, right? Like
And-
it's got more to it.
It's got a few extra features, but when it comes to say when you mean by better, I mean we've eliminated another piece of hardware by getting this because now Mickey doesn't have a separate amp over there for his headphones and all that stuff. It's plugged directly in here. It's eliminated some stuff. It's eliminated a little bit of a hassle. I don't know why some of the stuff seemed to just be working a little better after I installed this, right? Like I put it to the same gain quantities as we had it before. It's a little louder. Not only is the microphone seem to be a little, I mean, tell us in the chat, guys. Really, I that's how we're really gonna know. Cause I'll be honest, I didn't do a test stream, so I don't know how YouTube sounds yet. So that's something we need to know now, guys. If there's anyone in the chat, please let us know how we sound. What do you guys
Your
think? of the
camera
new
looks
stuff?
badass. Actually, I can see like it can definitely like pick up.
That's what
pimples on
Emily
your
told me
face.
last time too. She was like, "Oh my god, the camera you guys put on you looks really good." And
Yeah.
yeah, I do.
Glazing.
No, I mean, it doesn't look like we have anyone in the chat yet. We'll have to watch that as people. If anyone starts to come in, I'm sure Alex, maybe Emily, some of my family will come in. So we'll figure that out then.
By the way, I really like the smaller format of the phone. I do enjoy this smaller.
So you
format.
got the new phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the new format. I gotta pick your brains, guys, about this camera. It's got a bunch of other shit in it.
So
But I don't know.
there's something new that I saw over the weekend that the iPhone. You're checking the audio.
Yeah, it sounds good.
iPhone introduced a log profile picture profile for the new iPhone. Did you see that?
Yes.
Did you mess with it at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can adjust it.
The
It's
funny
not-
part is that you're gonna sell that to most people, and they're gonna be like, "Oh man, what does that mean?" Yo, what? So
basically
for
filters.
professionals use S-Log and this and that for Sony. Oh, okay, so it must look awesome. Yeah, man. Look at this footage. And you're gonna show them footage that's like post edited, and then they're gonna go in, try and shoot log, and then they're gonna look at it and be like, "Yo, what the fuck were they talking about? This looks gray as shit. It's mushy. What is this?"
In reality, it's just gonna be another gimmick and another fact that people who are at the retail stores gonna be like, yeah, this is another feature that you're never gonna use.
They have
Yeah.
this thing, they call it spatial video or photo, where you
Spatial.
can spa-
I
okay,
think it's
Spatial audio?
Spatial audio, yeah.
So basically,
They've
this
had that for a little while. But
No,
not with
it-
the camera and stuff, but I know that's something that.
so you can record now for specifically for the glasses, like video and
Okay.
audio specifically for that.
Got you. I mean, spatial audio has been like a feature that they've had now for a little while.
No,
That
no, it's video too. It's not audio. It's video.
spatial video,
Yeah, special video, or pictures.
man.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Okay, it does
Spatial
off
video
the
capture.
rip look a
Mhm.
little different. That since there's just this.
It's specially designed for the glasses.
So I can read a little bit of it here. With iOS 17.2, iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro Max users can now record spatial videos, a groundbreaking new capability that helps users capture life's precious moments and relive those memories on Apple Vision. Blah 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 blah. Enable spatial video capture on iPhone. Once spatial video capture is enabled in settings, users can leverage the advanced camera systems on iPhone 15 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max to capture their favorite moments in 3 dimensions. Spatial videos are captured in 1080p at 30 frames per second in a standard dynamic range with advanced computational videography techniques and HEVC compression. iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro Max deliver stunning spatial memories in compact file size.
So I'm
Go to
seeing
go to
here.
regular photo. Go to regular photo.
This is something really interesting. I'm seeing here that you can record in like a ProRes format is what it says,
Mhm.
like 4K 60 frame pro resolution and shit.
120.
Well, no, I'm saying if you want to do it at that or higher,
Mhm.
you have to use an external recording device, meaning like they're predicting and assuming that you're gonna be rigging these phones on like rigs now. You know,
Mhm.
getting the smart rig cage and adding a battery, adding
So if you go
adding
to
adding storage, adding a light. Like they're assuming you're gonna start doing that, and we can show off their new shutter button, which apparently is made out of sapphire glass, the actual button, and it's laser welded into the frame.
Hmm.
Meaning, before when you used to have to here, you can show what you wanted to show about the pictures, but
No,
um,
you're gonna have to see it.
so meaning that before when a button on your iPhone got broken, they could take it apart, take it out, take the specific button out, and replace it. Now they can't. They literally would have to
Place the
replace the
frame.
entire frame of of the iPhone to replace the button if it shatters or gets broken or whatever. What is that you
So
wanted me to look at?
on a one zoom, click on a one on a button one.
Oh, it gives you like a
It changes the lenses. It goes from 24 to 28 to 35 millimeters.
yeah. But it tells you it's doing like a 1.5 or so 24 millimeters like the
24 millimeter is
no
the
zoom.
one, and then 20
28 is gonna be
20 is
1.2.
1.25, and
35 is
yeah.
1.5.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Have you heard of this device called Arsenal?
Mm-mm.
No.
So this device is pretty cool, and
Oh, and then there's a raw
I
format.
have
Yeah.
thought
The roll
about
was there always.
Really?
potentially, eventually, when I just have money to blow off on random shit,
Yeah.
just getting this just to see how it does. But this is a camera assistant, and you can put it on your camera. And what it does is it sets your camera settings to be the best for that specific scene,
Okay.
which
Oh
is
shit, okay.
very interesting device.
So
So
it's
it
like
just detects, auto detects, and then messes with your camera.
Correct.
That's
It
cool.
does, like you see here.
But it's got to be connected to your phone then.
Yeah. So it kind of it does connect to the camera, but
how
then
much is it?
you can check on your phone and mess with all types of different settings. It's meant so that you can put it on a tripod and take landscape pictures, I think. Because you can't really, touch a camera when you're doing long exposure shots.
You
in
know what this
landscapes.
does? This actually makes you the director and a photo person all in one.
Director and photo person. I can see the director part. I don't see the photo person.
No, meaning like you can set it on a tripod if you're doing a shoot, right, with models or whatever, and be the director at the same time without going away from, like, without actually paying attention to the camera. You just have your phone and like, all right, I need you to move. Oh, okay, good. Boom, take a picture. Take a picture. You don't have to approach the camera to do it.
Yeah, you could use it for that. But for photography, I don't think it's as efficient. Not for like portrait photography.
No.
Nah, it's just too slow. And your like subject's gonna be moving, and you want to like be able to keep up with your
¿Cuánto
subject.
cuesta esto?
You can pre-order $300. Typically $429.
Oh.
Apparently, this was a Kickstarter campaign for this particular product, and I think they do have an original Arsenal uh, that might be out. Let me check here.
They probably aren't selling it anymore since they have the second one.
Yeah, probably. Apparently, it was a big failure according to the Reddit post.
Well, they tried again. Maybe they'll do it the second time.
Well, I do not like Reddit people. You know, I used to read Reddit articles back in the day, not anymore, because on Reddit everyone becomes a fucking expert in a subject matter, and everyone says their fucking half-ass opinions about shit they have no idea about.
That's the whole internet.
And you can't change that.
That's the whole internet. That's the internet as a whole. I mean, Reddit. I feel like Reddit is at least the one where most nerds and shit use. So at least you're not dealing with like average people. Most average people don't use Reddit.
And that's the nerds are literally the ones that I cannot stand to watch or listen to.
Well, you take
That kind of hardcore nerds.
You take what you need from it and you move on, right? That's
Yeah.
that's the way I looked at Reddit.
Because, you know, to me, like, I'd much rather go to YouTube, do an actual
Reddit for me, because I guess, because I this is the thing for me. Reddit is where really specific scenarios for me when it comes to technology, like having this piece and this piece exact, right, and trying to figure out why the fuck they're not working together, right? When I could have bought 100 different combinations that do the same thing, right? So, for example, like trying to figure out my mixer on my setup in my room, which my Go XLR, that bitch worked perfectly for the past 4 years that I've had it. And randomly out of nowhere, I would like tap my desk or tap the mixer, and that bitch would just freak out.
Reddit is like the last line of defense for those issues that you
Oh,
can't
yeah,
find
and
an
if
answer
and
to,
if Reddit
because
doesn't happen,
you gotta find someone that has that commonality. I don't even know if that's a word, but it should be
no,
commonality.
it sounds right. No, but that's exactly what it is, right? And then the thing that sucks too is sometimes you go on Reddit as your first line of defense, and you know for a fact that if Reddit don't got that bitch, good luck. Good luck.
By the way, we had the vice presidential debates yesterday.
Vice presidential debates?
Yeah, and I was surprised, man. I thought that
In a good way or a bad way?
in a good way. In a good way, I was surprised because I thought Kamala's vice president is gonna come out and he's just gonna be this, but he wasn't. Very well spoken, on point, talk better than Kamala, hands down. And then JD Vance came out. I thought he was gonna be this fucking monster that comes out and like very hardcore religious and shit. Nah, man, he was like more chill, cool, like very low, like even keel, and they both did really well. And I actually went to both sides of the aisle on news to see what everybody was saying. Man, he goes, "That's what the debate should be like just friendly, friendly
So
competition
the
type of deal.
VPs are doing it better
Better
than the damn presidents
than the
themselves.
damn presidents themselves. Yeah, can you believe that shit?
I watched a video today
I
of
mean, it makes sense too. You know why? Because it's like I want to be there one day. You know, as VP, you're like, I'm still striving. These motherfuckers have already done it.
Yeah, but like, you know, think about it, bro. Wouldn't you be ashamed if
it's-
your number two did better than you?
I know, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's almost just like when you're at the top, there's no one else to look up to, and no one to say I want to be like that, and I want to be better than that.
Yeah, but where's the leader of the fucking
I
country
know, I
comes
get it,
in,
right?
you
At
know
the end
what
of
I
the day, they should be doing it the best, right?
Yeah,
Which is,
bro.
They're the
It's like-
standard, right? But we all know that standard right now looking pretty shite.
Yeah,
Right? So
it is bad.
So I mean, for the VPs to come in and do a better job than that, I'm not surprised.
I honestly, you know what? If these two were running for president, it'd be very, very, very difficult to say who would win. That's how good
you
they were.
feel? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how good they were. And
Well.
they both said some fuck shit, and they both like recovered, and you know it was pretty good. It was pretty good. They were like, you know, there was a moment where they try to, you know, sneak something on JD Vance. JD Vance kind of like butted in, is like, y'all fucking wrong, and started spitting facts. They cut off his mic. And you know, and same thing happened with what's his name, the other guy, and they tried to put him on a spot, and he kind of fucking wiggled his way out of it, but like very intelligently, which was kind of like okay, you know, it was good. Actually, I enjoyed watching that fucking debate.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. I don't
I
think
saw
I've ever enjoyed a piece of political entertainment in my
I saw a
that's good.
video
life.
of Dana talking to these protesters back in 2010.
About
They were protesting the UFC outside the stadium,
mm,
and he came out and he started talking to them. They didn't know who he was or anything. He was just like,
That shit was funny.
"There's
I
some
seen it.
protesters outside here. I'm gonna go talk to them, see what's going on."
Yeah.
And
And
he's
he-
like, "You guys don't like the UFC?" And
You guys like it's too violent or some
Mhm.
shit. Yeah.
and then he's like, "What do you think about American football?" He's like, "Yeah, but they're trying to get the ball across." And it's like, "Yeah, these guys are trying to see who's the best. They're just trying to fight." He's like, "Yeah, but
It's like that's inherent violence, and it's like, why you say that? You watch football? Yeah, yeah. Well, what's the difference? They're going for the ball. This is bullshit. And he's like, but they're just trying to figure out who's the best in the world, just like those football players are, right?
And then
I-
and then he's like, "You're not with them, are you?" He's like, "I'm the owner."
See, this is my thing. This just shows how uneducated the majority of the world is on martial arts.
Oh, because I remember because
or anything,
Dana was like,
or anything,
"This is
period.
this is a sport. This is regulated by the government."
Yeah, there's like the elbows and the knees, man. It's just too much, and he's like, it shouldn't be allowed. It should be illegal, and it's like, well, it's regulated by the state, by the government.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like,
They
you know,
set the rules.
anytime somebody comes out and says some dumb shit like that, well, there's your elbows and knees that should be banned, blah blah blah. Bruh, first of all, you're not in that cage. You'll never be in that cage. You'll never fight anyone at that level. So why are you even worried about when somebody signs a contract that says I'm willing to accept elbows and knees to my head, and I'm willing to take the consequences of CTE?
Simple as that. Just like that fucking football player does.
Bro, it just makes no sense. Like, people will come in and say their fucking opinions about shit. Like, they won't even think about something, like, and then they'll say their opinion without like actually giving it thought.
And this is the thing too. It's kind of opposite between the sports in the sense of intensity during training, right? Like you would say, okay, they only fight this often and they only have games this often, right? Which and you would as a footballer, right? You play football, you're playing games way more often than
Yeah.
someone who's doing fights,
100%.
right? Unless you're like one of these Muay Thai guys that fight 270
Yeah.
times in their career. You know what I mean? Like unless you're one of those guys, and even then, you probably still had more games than they have had fights. Even then,
I'm sure.
right? Comparing the two, there is no
It's like
there is
apples to
compar-
oranges,
Yeah,
you
there's
can't-
no comparison. And then like what I was gonna say is the training, right? Intensity during those training sessions. We go in the gym right now, Jay, and we're doing kickboxing training. We're gonna spar light. Even as a fighter, right? Most of the time you're sparring light. You're not doing heavy sparring
No,
every day.
because
No
then you
one can
become
do.
Sean Strickland
no-
and nobody likes to spar
No,
with you.
and even then, even Sean Strickland ain't doing heavy sparring every single day. There's no way. No human could do that, right?
You can't recover fast enough.
Yeah. But guess what? Go and try and do your tackle drills and all that stuff, going head to head in the football field for training. Try and do that shit at 50%. Your coach is
Yeah.
gonna smack the shit out of you.
Hmm.
Those guys gotta go all the time, super hard, and just helmet helmet to helmet like fucking goats.
Yeah.
And no shame on them. No shame on them. I'm just trying to make sure you guys don't fucking shame our sport.
Well, see,
because you
this-
think it's some kind of barbaric thing.
I think this is
Right?
what's going on. You
The
know, like,
barbaracy is all down to the entertainment and them putting people on a. You know what I
think,
mean? Like that you want to go down to it, you know?
I think
but-
I think the reason it's like that because people will watch boxing and then they'll see them wearing those 12 to 16 ounce gloves, right?
No, they wear like a 10.
Well, 10, whatever it is, but they look like pillows. So they don't think that the punch is that strong. You know what I mean? Like, they have no concept of it because they've never been hit by a glove like that by actually somebody that knows how to hit, right? So they have no
Israel-
clue what that entails. So they're thinking, oh, they're just using these boxing gloves because it's easier on a body. It's like having pillows on your hands, right? Like, they have no fucking concept of anything.
Israel
then they come in
Adesanya
with
was
their
on
opinions.
the Joe Rogan
I
podcast
was watching
today,
that today.
and they started talking about the different gloves and how they felt about the gloves and how they would want to move towards some type of glove that has like some type of covering on the fingers,
Yep.
kind of like the sparring gloves.
Yep.
Mhm.
That way you can prevent a lot of the eye pokes.
Yeah, like the sandable ones that I have, they don't necessarily have a covering on the finger. You do have some that are like that, right? But they're very curved, extremely curved, and then they have like this mitten that goes down, and it kind of just sticks out a little bit more than your fingers kind of would if you tried to like straighten the hand, right?
But the problem with that is the grappling aspect.
There you go. There you go. They say that the grappling aspect. Now, Jay, I'm gonna be honest. I've only had this much experience as a 13-year-old fighting in a cage doing MMA. I don't ever remember the training sessions that I had. I mean, also as a kid, right? That's why I'm saying, you know, this is where my experience I'm saying is minimal. I don't ever remember the gloves being like, fuck, I wish I didn't have these gloves on. Of course, you know, when you're trying to sneak your hand in the areas, yes, right? But like in like the grand scheme of things for the sport of MMA, I don't think
Here's what they should
complain
do.
too much. As long as you just gotta be able to grip, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they can't complain about like the glove not getting through spaces. You're always gonna have a glove on. And that's gonna be an issue, right?
Well, they can do this, you know, when they're signing contracts to fight this person or that person, they can go in and say, okay, well,
They do that in boxing.
I'm gonna wear this gloves. What kind of gloves are you gonna be wearing? You know.
Well, it's not like I'm gonna wear these, you're gonna wear these. It's more about we're wearing these. We
Well,
agree
yeah,
to
that's
wear
it.
those.
Yeah.
Right. We're both wearing the same
Israel
ones.
was saying that he likes the old gloves and that this is gonna be his
They were
second time using the new gloves, but he wasn't a big fan of the new gloves.
Yeah,
the new gloves don't
everyone
have
is-
as much mobility.
Yeah,
He said that the old ones that they felt like it was a tire texture. He felt that those things just fucking hit.
Yeah, no, he also likes because he can fucking do this shit, and he's been caught poking people in the fucking eye.
He says he never poked somebody in the eye.
I don't think Izzy spoke so.
No,
I don't remember.
I thought he
Izzy.
did.
Yeah, he ain't a John Jones dog. John's taking some eyes home with him.
Yeah.
John's taking some eyes home.
I don't know, but anyway, the
Look, man,
mobility, the mobility is not there.
I've
Like,
heard a
even
lot
if
of
he hasn't-
complaints about the new glove. Not like they removed a certain amount of the padding, which I think is what maybe what the reference Miguel's talking to about, like with the tire feeling. Because you may think like, oh, they removed padding, so that's gonna make it hit harder. Not necessarily, because what if they made the padding smaller, but then they made it more cushiony, right? It's not as stiff anymore. That's gonna make a difference. I mean, if you, oh, that's an eye poke. That's an eye poke. That's an eye poke.
I thought I had remembered him poking somebody, but he's not the type of guy that does
He doesn't
it.
do it a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't do it on purpose constantly.
Yeah, John B. Straight going like this, bro.
It's because he uses a lot of open hands.
Yeah, they use that for measuring distance and stuff. But there's a way to do it and not poke someone in the eye constantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the problem is, even if Easy, let's say, didn't poke anyone or all of those were accidents, that's not the problem. It's not about Easy. It's about the fucking bad
everywhere.
apples.
Everyone.
It's
yeah.
about the bad apples that use that in their advantage. You know what I mean?
I would say
Conor
this.
McGregor fucking fights with his fingers all the way out a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Every time you see him come out, he's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But this is the problem, right? There's a difference between measuring distance with your palm and doing it like this.
yeah, but
with your hand straight
the
out.
way
Because these
Conor-
guys measure distance and they're using like their palm to
the
tap,
way Conor
and even the front of their fingers, not going like this and fucking
the
clawing
way
at
Conor
people.
does it is very comical though, because he has such a huge
I love
wide stance.
I love Connor's
he-
stance. It's like an Irish Bruce Lee, bro. When you watch him, and it's like the stance style, that real wide, like it's almost like a karate stance, but karate stance usually is a little higher, right? He's wide
He's a
and
little bit
low,
low. Yeah.
and wide and low. It's real fun. And if you're
Well,
a
they have
striker
to
that's
be, right?
trying
I
to
wonder if that's
mimicking
almost-
his style is fun. Like when if you hit the bag and you can kind of get a grip on how he stands and stuff, it's fun to strike like that.
I wonder if that's almost a tactic that he uses because
Well, they
he
have-
might be,
yeah.
because he might be able to.
100%.
No,
So
you
there's
have to.
it's
You
all
can't-
it's all about tactic. You know, he's not doing that to look cool, bro.
Yeah.
That's
you
not-
can't be
he ain't
too
doing it
low
to
like
look
a
cool.
wrestler, and you cannot be too high like a striker. We have to be right in the middle.
But I guess what I'm saying is it like a tactic or he just feels good at that?
Well,
in that
no,
stance?
That's his stance.
the lower
That's his stance.
the
That's-
lowerness is the tactic, but then he's comfortable within that type of a stance, right?
Yeah.
because you get Marab or you get Khabib. They have a totally different stance. They might not be as high or never be as low, but they're still everyone is kind of a little bit lower unless they're straight up strikers
Yeah,
like Pereira. Pereira is just up in
Connor
the
and
air.
Izzy.
even
Kenny-
Pereira.
Connor and
If you go look at Pereira's stance when he was in kickboxing and his stance now, it has changed because he has to adjust to be able to start defending takedowns.
he has a very notable stance as well.
Yeah, they all do.
What I think is hilarious is you see now Pereira's been doing like a lot of emotion stuff on purpose. Like they get him to show emotion because that motherfucker was like a stone.
I've seen
you
like
know?
7 fucking Chama ads.
Yeah.
They've been doing like those TikTok and Facebook games.
How
and
to
shit.
say chama in English? Chama. How to say chama in Portuguese? Chama. He's literally just doing the dumbest videos like that. It's funny as fuck.
Well,
then now they have another kickboxer that it's like the Pereira to Izzy. Pereira has one of those.
Yeah.
Pereira's got a guy that beat him up and is coming into MMA apparently, right? And they asked Pereira recently.
Oh, the young kid, the white kid.
They asked Pereira recently, "Oh, what do you think about this kid? You think your story's gonna get mimicked with him? How you had with
Isn't
Izzy?"
he like from Russia or some shit?
He said, he's not like us, and he ain't like Izzy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that a
Izzy
Russian?
gave
That's a
props to
Russian
him
kid.
today.
I
It's a
don't know.
Russian kid, right?
I don't know.
I think it's a Russian kid that you're
What-
talking about. It's a
What were you
white
saying,
kid.
Miggy?
Izzy gave props to Pereira.
Oh, I mean, you have to. You have to. And he I think he said something like, "I ain't fighting him again. He's on a fucking tear right now. I ain't touching that guy."
No,
I
don't think that's what he said. Though.
I saw a quote, like I think he posted it. Not that he actually said it, but he typed it out or whatever. Yeah, he was saying. I saw something like
Yeah,
that dude's on a tear right now. I want nothing to do with him.
It's
My
his
story-
left
my
hook,
story
what he
with-
was saying in the
my story with
podcast.
him is done.
What he was saying on the podcast, or what I interpreted, was that he he doesn't want to be anybody else in his division trying to fight him. He's got a lot of momentum going. He hits hard. He's
tear
the
right
man.
now,
He's
bro.
that dude. And
Alex Pereira has more title fights in the UFC than non-title fights.
Yeah.
Meaning he's fought for a title more times than he hasn't in the UFC.
Well,
Izzy was
his
getting
left hook,
spiritual.
man.
He was like, "Yeah, no, this motherfucker has his ancestors watching over him. I mean,
Yeah,
I got
He's
ancestors, and my
very,
parents are
very
praying
into
for me."
his
But
indigenous roots in Brazil. So like that's why he has that classic.
Izzy was like,
stuff like that.
he had some warriors with him fighting that.
I'm gonna be the contrarian. I don't think there's anything like that. I think the guy is just naturally, like his body and muscles and fibers and bones are built that way, where he can do these like half-cocked, like full-blown punches.
What does this have to do with what you're saying?
Pereira, like I don't think there's any
Like
ancestors
spiritual
watching,
ancestors.
spirits watching.
Oh,
and-
that's all bullshit. homie.
Yeah. That's all bullshit. They can, you
And
can,
Izzy was like, he has like this vibe to my man.
we can sit here and we can all swallow the pill and drink the Kool-Aid and pray to a multitude of gods and pretend that
dude's just a
none of us are gonna be
savage.
punched
No, but
that way.
it's just fun for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
You know,
That is just a
it's
savage.
it's like watching anime. You know, it's cool.
You know what's
It's
the
not
coolest,
real.
the coolest thing for me
I
is the
saw this
progression.
anime today that's called Trigun, and I saw a quick clip of it. And this motherfucker has this gun, and it's a sniper rifle, and he just pulls that bitch out, and it's like a fucking pipeline, dude. It's like 50 rifles damn near, and it's just insane. It's not real. It's not real.
Good movie I watched yesterday. New military style movie is Land of Bad. If you haven't watched it on Netflix yet, Land of Bad.
It's with the black guy, right?
No,
No.
Land of Bad. It's
Oh,
with
no, I
Liam
haven't.
Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Bro, this movie is fire. And not only is
I
it a
think I've
good
seen
movie,
this.
Miggy, you're gonna appreciate the cinematic aspect of it. Cause when they do those S&Q S&Q explosion shots, fire. Stupid fire, bro. They did a great job at that movie. Not only the story, and it's one of those where it's sometimes military movies they give you way too much information. It's like no. Just give me
Sleepy B.
make it very basic for the average person to enjoy the story and gotta get an understanding. This movie starts off quick, very basic story, and it just gets going. And it's very, very, very good.
You know what's funny to me is watching the fighters as they start like advancing and start making money. Slowly they all get like big chains and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, Pereira is one of those people, and the same thing happened with what's his name, the Brazilian guy that was fighting Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah,
I thought you'd be
Blanc,
able to say
Charles
that a lot easier
Oliveira.
than I can.
Huh?
I know, right? The fact that we're
Yeah.
having to pronounce the Russian names for him is crazy.
That's not Russian, bro. That's like a
It's
that's
Dagestani is
yeah. That's
Russia.
not yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, but their last names are
Where is
more like
Dagestan? What is Dagestan? It's a state.
in Russia. Yeah, but their last names are more Arabic than anything. You know,
But yeah, they have all that
Turkish,
that
Arabic, yeah,
Muslim.
Muslim.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, and there's only very few fighters that make that money and they don't like get the chains. But there's definitely signs. They'll get things like tailored suits. You like Khabib, like
Even something like a nice watch.
yeah, not yeah. Khabib would be probably a good example of it. He didn't get any other chains or anything like flashy
Yeah,
like
but
that.
from what
But
I've heard, he also gets everything for everything and like in Dagestan for free.
he does. He does get everything for free, and then, like when you look at his house, bro, it's got like this fucking palace.
You know, the head of I don't know, president, whatever, the top dog in
Yeah.
Georgia, gave over $250,000 to Marab,
He did.
and Marab's taking all of that money and putting it into creating gyms in Georgia for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, wrestling,
Nice.
judo, because he
Smart.
wants to create more Georgian UFC champions.
That's smart.
They gave him, I think it was a 1 million, whatever their currency is. It's like around $250,000 us, and he's putting that into donation
That's
stuff.
that's like the whole idea of putting it back into the community, right?
Mhm.
And I think that money wasn't supposed to be his. It was kind of one of those, we're gonna give you this. You need to open this, and we need to make this work, type of deal, you know. And we need your name behind it. So
I heard actually Kevin Holland talking about fighter pay today, and he said, "I know what it is to work a construction job 9 to 5 every day and have to live paycheck by paycheck. Y'all motherfuckers complaining about fighter pay just ain't fighting enough.
yeah,
Y'all want to complain about fighter pay and fight once every 2 years. And I ain't gonna. He says I ain't gonna say any fucking names, but I've fought 11 times, and I think Kevin Holland has fought. He's like the most active fighter right now. He's fought like 11 times since 2021.
yeah,
This is 3 years. So that means he's fought 3 or 4 times on average each year.
yeah.
I'm kind of excited for that Pereira.
Look at Volkanovski,
Khalil
man.
fight.
Motherfucker was fighting every 2-3 months.
Yeah,
This
Volk
year.
is another extremely active fighter. I think that we're gonna see that go down after these past couple of fights. But who were you saying, Mickey?
I'm really excited for the Pereira and Khalil Roundtree.
You're excited for it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not.
Only
I'm
the
not.
only
God
reason
bless
only
Roundtree.
reason why is because Izzy said that he could knock him out.
You
Nah,
think?
bro.
Oh, he said Khalil could knock
He
him
has
out.
a chance. He said. He has
Oh,
a
I
chance.
think Khalil does have a chance for sure. For sure, you can't say he doesn't. But let's look at the statistics here. The statistics.
the
the,
odds.
the statistics. So Pereira has one UFC takedown attempt in his whole entire UFC career. How many does Khalil Roundtree have?
I don't know. I don't follow him.
Put
I'm
it this
I'm
way:
only
Pereira
following-
has 100% more than he does. Khalil hasn't shot a single takedown in his whole entire UFC career. Not a single one. And he said he ain't gonna start this Saturday, right? According to him.
So what you're saying is they're not going band for band on standing up.
Oh,
They
they
are.
are.
They
That's
are.
what I'm
That's
saying.
what's gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying is gonna happen. And in that case, right? Who right now is the number one striker in the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Pereira.
Yeah. And
Pereira.
who got clean knocked out by Johnny Walker?
Roundtree.
Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah. So God bless Roundtree. I'm just saying.
I
I
think
just
it's a cool
hope.
fight.
I just hope it's not that big of a beating.
I think it's a cool fight. No, I don't think it'll be a beating. I think it'll knock him out. But I think Roundtree definitely stands a chance, man. He has some awesome knockouts against some top level guys. You know, so there's nothing against him and nothing holding back from him. He's got a
Pereira is
solid
the
chance.
boogeyman, bro. He's
but-
the boogeyman.
Pereira's literally is, I would say, the best striker in the UFC right now, pound for pound.
He's the Keanu Reeves of UFC right now.
Yeah, he is John Wick, right?
You know?
Carry.
He's he's John Wick of
The
UFC.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah, Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That man is the Baba
Can you
Yaga
put
right now.
Can you put in Baba Yaga, and then actually I want you to see a picture of what that actually is for you to get a better understanding.
The Boogeyman, no?
No, Boogeyman is a man. Baba Yaga is a woman. That's Baba Yaga.
Ah, it's like the witch in the witch in the woods. The
Yes,
story
that's
of
Baba Yaga. Yeah,
the
the
what is
brother
it?
and sister, Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel. Oh,
Yeah,
that's Baba Yaga. Is
that's Baba Yaga.
from Hansel. Is that actually from the Hansel and Gretel story though?
No, Baba Yaga is the Russian version. In Hansel and Gretel, it's a German writer, right? So that she's a witch. But that right there is Baba Yaga. That big nose like that with fucking warts on it. She flies on a fucking broom.
La
That's
prima.
her mode of transportation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The name's kind of creepy.
The
It
reason
is
they
a really creepy name.
Yeah, the reason they send a boogeyman is because you scared the kids with boogeyman in United States, but you scared the kids with Baba
Baba
Yaga
Yaga. It's
in
like the English
Russia.
translation.
Yes,
Okay.
to make it one to one, right?
Right.
So yeah, pull that one, the cinematic view. Yeah, that right there. It's from a movie. This is Baba Yaga. Like she only got like two fucking teeth because rest of them fell out, and she eats children. She cooks them and eats them.
Yeah.
You know, got that big nose with a wart on it. You know,
And
What's the
cute.
name of the witch in Hansel and Gretel? If you wanna, why are you telling your Cuba story?
so
Of
name of witch.
Witch. Hansel and Gretel witch. Yeah.
Rosina Leckermall,
Okay.
and that's in the opera of Humperdinck's 1892.
Oh, so that's like the original one and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a German translation of the name
Sweet
being
tooth.
Raisin Sweet Tooth.
Okay. What were you gonna say about Cuba, Mickey?
In Cuba, they used to scare me with El Cucu.
El cuckoo.
Yeah.
That was the same thing as cucuy, right?
And I still have this memory. One night, I don't know what I was doing wrong, because they wouldn't do this to somebody who's not doing something wrong. They locked me out in the back porch.
And El
And
cuckoo, you gonna come get you?
it's
El
a
cuckoo.
very scary scene because
See.
if I mean, you're in Cuba, there's no lights. There's a whole entire banana plantation behind your house. It's completely dark. It's almost like a fucking forest back there.
And
When
all
you're
you hear
8
is
years
noises.
old, that's big.
You were
Like,
waiting
it's
for
a
that fucker
forest.
from Jeepers Creepers. to
And
come
they
out.
locked me exactly, dude, yeah. They locked me. That's exactly what I was thinking of, actually, because I had seen that movie, and
Jeepers.
that movie actually stuck with me as a kid. It scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
But they locked me on, and my mom, I remember she was saying, "Te va a coger el cucú." and they would say that his eyes were on fire, and I was like, "Oh my god, open the door!"
I mean, Miguel might want his right now, but I'm not gonna eat my ice cream now. I'm gonna eat it after. Miguel's like, hell yeah,
So-
I'm gonna eat my shit.
So
right
can you
now."
imagine? Can you imagine? God forbid, something actually happened and comes and
Thank you.
steals the kid. How bad would parents feel if that actually
You know that
happened?
reminds me. I saw this clip the other day. They were saying it was this guy saying, anytime you think your kids are hiding from, you can't find your kids. You need to stop thinking they're hiding from you and like check like the worst case scenario spots first. The pool, the driveway, the under heavy things. Check the bad spots first and stop thinking that your kid's just hiding from you. And it makes a lot of sense. I used to hide from my parents a lot. I ain't gonna lie.
I
Like,
did the same shit. Yeah, I think it's like
school. I was hiding in the closet.
No. I said I did the same shit as a little kid.
I used to also. I mean, not used to. I still scare the shit out of my mom all the time. So hiding for that. Yeah, I used to hide for anything. If I did something bad.
It was fun, man. Hiding, like
Yeah,
hiding from
yeah.
parents, and then watching them go crazy and call you, and you're like super quiet and shit.
Yeah. But yeah, stop thinking your kids are just hiding from you for fun. And the sad part is,
The little Nicholas got hit by a car. Oh my god.
yeah, that's not a good scenario, bro.
I gotta go to Plan B real quick, boys. I'll be right back.
Oh shit, you messed up over there,
Emily,
Hold on, I got you.
huh? Emergency.
Emergencia.
Ooh, shit.
All right,
there you
So
go.
for those people in the podcast that don't know what's going on,
Yeah, go ahead and give them a visual.
we
Make
got
it-
Cold Stone, but it's melting. So we have an emergency situation here.
Get them a bowl and some napkins.
I thought I was gonna make it work by being smart and flipping the lid on to the bottom.
Yeah.
That got filled up pretty quick too.
Oh, the lid did. He's getting you something. Yeah. we're taking a pause for a slight commercial break. Get him a bowl.
Yeah, get me a bowl, please.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Hey, he brought you
So
the setup.
yeah, give me this. I'll get the bowl.
You know where the bowls are, where the plates are. Yeah.
I mean, ice cream to go is not a great idea.
No, it's never a good.
It's a
idea.
big mess.
Yeah, it always.
That's
is.
why I debated it as well. It's just, I don't know if it's worth it.
It's all right. You're about to enjoy it in a.
Slightly dripping on me. Thank you, sir.
There you go. Plop that bitch in there. Here, Miggy. Anything you need to throw away.
Bro, it's like paint.
Let me ask you a question, Eddie.
Trash cans right here, Miggy.
When you were doing
Alrighty.
this floor in this room, did you do it on the fly?
I didn't do the floor in this room.
Oh.
Think I did? Damn, you thought I did this shitty of a job?
Well,
Fuck
somebody
no.
did the room.
No, this was done before before I even moved into this room
Oh,
as a
okay.
kid. This was done literally like 18 years ago.
Because I
This
can
one.
tell it's doing on the fly. Because this seems they're all like straight butted to each
Yeah,
other.
they fucked up, man. They fucked up. I lived in this room for majority of my life, and it was always shite. It was always really bad. Ever since I can remember as a kid, right in front of the door, every time you walk there, it just creaks like crazy. Yeah, I have flooring in the garage ready to be put in, but yeah.
Now it's the production studio.
Yeah.
I don't know when this is gonna happen, and if it ever will.
Yeah, I mean, there are some upgrades I like to. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys. There are some really cool desk stand mics that we could probably get when we want to do the table setup. I saw that Elgato just
talking about-
released those for for on top of a table. Because when
Mhm.
we're at a table setup, these probably aren't gonna work very
We
well.
should get one of Elgato's, and we should get one from Amazon to see if like the comparability and if it's cheaper
Yeah.
just to get them from. Yeah, but table we need to do that. We need to go to. I think we need to go to IKEA, see where we can come up with.
Yeah,
I've
number
never
one.
actually been inside IKEA. I've been
Oh,
outside.
perfect.
yeah, I've been inside. It's not that it's
Perfect.
impressive, but then you're like,
This weekend, Art needs to go to Tampa because I guess they're selling these special fruits that he wants to buy in Tampa.
you guys are always looking for some weird fruits and shit,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and then we can just hit IKEA at the same time and see. What
I want
we
to go to Costco.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Get one of them fucking RC cars, man.
You probably better off just ordering online.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah. Because I got the little model cars for Art, the
cast
McLaren
models,
ones,
yeah.
the McLaren ones. This one came in like somebody fucking stepped on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's all like fucking.
That
just
sucks.
Box is destroyed pretty much.
Bro, I mean, there's
So
a
I'm
box
thinking of-
right now if you go look top of the simulator chair in the living room. Dude, it was so bad. I took a picture of it just because I haven't even opened it. I don't even know what it's for. It wasn't something I ordered. When I got home, I took a picture of it because it was just so bad. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
this shit's probably fucked. Whatever's
So
in
the
here is
box
fucked.
from outside looked fine, but it looked like somebody just fucking stepped on it.
On the actual display box? Damn, that sucks. That sucks. 'Cause your brother probably wasn't going to take them out of the boxes.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking, if I can find one at the Costco store, I'm just gonna, buy that one and then return.
¿Cómo va eso?
It's a kid's dream.
It's a kid's dream?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's like playing with paint. Look at my hands.
Oh. But how's the actual ice cream?
It's good.
What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think are the chances of, like, if you are eating this like every day? What do you think the chances of you getting cancer because of that paint? It can be healthy for you.
Definitely
Bro,
not
we eat
something
food.
I'd have every
We
day.
eat food coloring in everything today.
Yeah, we do.
That's why we all. That's why we're all getting.
Yo,
cancer.
fucked up.
I mean, what is it? Red something that they say is like super bad for you.
Bro, everything red.
All those colorings, yeah.
So apparently Fanta, right? The drink Fanta, they put this chemical inside that's petroleum based. And the reason they put that in there is because the coloring separates from the actual soda.
Yeah, to
So
make
the,
sure
this
it stays
keeps it all
together.
like mixed.
Yeah.
Where like Fanta and drinks like that in Europe have carrot, like natural coloring, carrot orange color. So like the shit that we have in our food is insane, man.
Yeah.
Like, you ever try reading labels? Like, I've tried doing that for a while, and then I quit. I was like, there's nothing you can buy.
Yeah. Yep. I remember growing up, there was like we started buying natural peanut butter, like organic peanut butter, because apparently there's this something in peanut butter, like if you don't get the organic ones, that it's like super bad for your intestines and all this
Mm.
stuff. Like sends a shit ton of people to the hospital every year and everything. Like really really bad condition that it provokes. So get organic peanut butter.
So talking about that, right?
Besides that, I don't know shit else.
So apparently, some people are saying that, you know how people have like gluten sensitivity and they're getting celiac and things like that. They're saying the reason it's like that because we've genetically modified the shit out of wheat, and this wheat, because it's genetically modified now, has more gluten in it, which withstands the elements better. That was like when you modified it, it had more gluten in it, and that made it withstand better. So because the wheat has a lot more gluten in it than naturally it should, that's what we like. A lot of people have sensitivity to gluten in United States, because the minute you leave the country, you like you go anywhere else, you eat bread and like there's nothing, like it's fine. I've never
That's
been gluten sensitive,
that's
bro. I've
the
never been
that's the
sensitive
one
to it.
thing I always enjoy going to other countries and eating the bread. I don't know why.
Because it tastes like what it should taste like.
It's so
You
much
now see,
better.
this is where, kind of like Pereira has ancestors watching over him. This is where your ancestors' genes are telling you that like this is the fucking bread that you should be eating.
Even something as simple as like a ham and cheese sandwich,
Yeah, bro, it tastes
it's
so much
way
better.
better.
Yeah,
Way better. And I don't know if
even like
that's
a
just me
simple
being
thing
on
like a
vacation
bologna,
mode.
bro. Simple thing is a bologna tastes so much better. Spam tastes better. Who eats spam?
I
Spam
don't eat
tastes
spam.
I
better.
eat spam.
Huh?
I eat spam.
I don't eat spam.
I've tried eating spam
Have you
after
tried
many.
frying? Have you tried frying it?
Yeah, I've tried eating spam because back in the day we would get spam and eat it. But I've tried eating spam here in the
Tushonka.
United States. Yeah, tushonka. After like years of not eating spam,
But
it's fucking horrible.
it's weird because you say Tushonka is spam.
Yeah, tushonka is spam.
When in the game that I play, it labels it as a can of beef stew.
Nah, tushonka is spam. It's a
Yeah.
straight up spam. But here's the thing. That tushonka spam is not the consistency of spam that we have here. Because spam here more looks like a bologna.
Mm-hmm.
Over there, it actually has chunks of meat. It's more like a this gelatin. Yeah, pull it up so we can see better. Tushonka. Yeah, that's it. Tu. Mm-hmm. That's it.
It says stew
See,
meat. You see?
so yeah, but look
It's
at it.
not really.
It's
Yeah.
like chunks of meat that has the fat, the collagen in it. So it's not like the spam that we're used to.
Yeah, but that's not really spam in general.
Well, that's the Russian
It's
spam.
canned meat, but it's not spam.
It's
Spam's
canned
very
meat. Yeah.
different. Spam's like a ham.
This is disgusting to me.
Yeah, that's disgusting
This
because
looks like cat food.
no, well, you're looking at the fat. That's the fat. The minute you cook that, all those, the gelatinous shit becomes the liquid,
I don't be
basically.
cooking that shit in Turkey. We just
Yeah, you just eat it like that. Yeah.
Just pop that shit.
even in the game it looks disgusting.
Do Russian spam, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But this is actually like cuts of meat that are cooked a lot that people usually wouldn't get, and there you go. No, yeah, tushonная мясо. See, same thing. Tushonka is the same thing as tushonная мясо. Tushonka is just short for tushonная мясо. See what I mean?
Tushonka.
Saving the starving Soviets with spam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to say. Like, this was their spam. Except the spam here, bro.
Spam you can't have every day. But I will argue that after not having it for several weeks, spam from time to time, like fried.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I didn't have spam in a very, very long time, and then I had it after 20 years, bro. I couldn't stomach it. Threw it all away. I couldn't do it.
Now, I'm not a big fan of having a lot of it either.
Yeah.
I can only have like, 2-3 pieces.
You know what was my spam as a kid? The Vienna sausages.
I
Yeah.
would fuck those up too.
Yeah, I just crack that
Straight
can
out the water,
open
bro.
Pull up hot dogs in Russia. This is the craziest thing. You've never seen anything like this.
That's like the one American food I almost refuse to eat. Like unless there's nothing else, I will not eat hot dogs.
So hot dogs in Russia still in a wrap. Just do that. Still in a wrap. Yeah. It's like they're individually wrapped, right? Go down. Let me
Right there
see.
to the top.
No,
to
no,
the- on
no.
the right.
That's not it. That's not it. They're individually wrapped in. It's almost like this cellophane, like a very.
That's what I was
skinny-
saying. Go to the top. all the way to the top, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way,
No, no,
right
no,
there,
no,
and that
no.
little
That's
plate,
not it. That's not it.
individually wrapping my hot dogs.
No, no, no. So it's in this like round cellophane, right? They'll add one hot dog in it, and then they'll twist, and then they add the second one, twist. So it's this big roll, looks like a hose of hot dogs. Basically, that's how you buy the hot dogs back home.
You're just talking about sausage.
No, like actual hot dogs.
Yeah, I think you're just talking
You're just
about
talking about
sausage.
sausage.
Put not hot dogs. Put SOSIKA. Russia. SOSISKA. After IS.
SOSI.
S. And then do in a wrap. Oh, see, there you go. Pull that on up. The one on the bottom. Yeah, pull that one on up. No, no, no. The one
To the left of that.
to the left of that. Yeah, that one right there. Now imagine these links are connected to each
Yeah,
other.
like a sausage.
Yeah, like a sausage. Exactly. They're connected to each other. And this is how you buy it over there. There is no such thing as having them all in a bag lined up next to each other, or like being in a jar like Vienna sausages or anything like that, right? Like this is the way you buy it.
This is the way you get it in Cuba.
Yeah, and then they had regular ones. Yeah.
Because you
They-
have to make it. Like everything is made there.
Yeah, you had regular ones, and you also had ones that were mixed with a little bit of milk. Like yeah, so the milk ones that were a little smoother, much easier to eat. Yeah, that right there. Those are the milk ones. And then you would just throw them like that in a pot with hot boiling water. You would boil it up a little bit, and then you would take it out, take the wrap off, and you would just eat that. Or you would just chop them up, and you make like you would saute them, right? But
Yeah, I ate a lot of boiled hot dogs growing up.
mhm.
A lot.
well,
I never
and, like-
boiled my hot dogs. I put them in the microwave and
Yeah, sometimes microwave, but
Yeah.
but boiling them was a little bit better than the microwave.
yeah, and the thing is, like, when you eat this, there's no such thing as like putting fucking mustard. The mustard, yeah, but not ketchup or anything like that. You would just have that with like a couple of them on a plate with mashed potatoes, and you would just eat that, and that would be the source of protein for you. Yeah, so like when I grew up eating all this shit over there, our potato chips were super funny, man. These potato chips were like almost like in a bag, in like a square bag, and they come in like wafers. They were like square wafers that you would just eat, you know? And then
So-
you could go to the store and get like, I would like half a gallon of sour cream, half a gallon of milk, like, and they would just like pour it for you. You would bring your own little, I don't know, jar, and they would just pour it in a jar, and you would take it home with you. That's kind of how it was, until it all became a little more civilized, and you could buy it already. They would just, individually.
So let's
separate and
let's
pack 'em.
rewind here a little bit. We didn't talk about why we were even off these couple days. So
Yeah.
one of them was kind of a little bit of a mistake. At the same time, a celebration of my father's birthday this Tuesday. That was the reason. But then last week, the day of the pod, we had literally in the middle of a hurricane. So
Mhm.
freaking Helene.
yeah,
Hurricane Helene was what's considered the 100-year-old storm, right? And it was 100 miles away from us.
it still fucked us up.
It
and
did.
and it fucked up a lot of the northern states too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Northern states are
And
fucking done.
The crazy part was by the time it got to most of those northern states, it was a tropical depression, and it still fucked them up. The reason for is they're
Big
not
time.
prepared.
Correct.
The reason for is they're simply just not prepared.
And it gives you the like a stark difference between like Florida and everyone else. We're sitting here and like we're worried about it. We're just so much more prepared for any type of hurricanes, man,
Yeah.
or any kind of bad
Have you
weather.
guys noticed that? I feel like nowadays, compared to other years, we've been getting a lot more flooding in the streets.
Yes,
Yeah.
flooding is getting worse, and worse every year. I've noticed this here in St. Petersburg.
I've never had seen, like when I was younger, my street
Sir-
get flooded the way it's been getting flooded in the
Yeah,
streets.
man.
Like just on the way here,
Yeah.
it only rained for like 30
And
minutes.
you know what? I don't know what else to blame this to. I simply think that our floodgates are the internals of it is just so dirty and built up that it's just every time we flood, it takes a little longer for it to clear. Every time we flood, it takes a little longer and a little longer.
And then
a
it
little
also
longer.
depends probably on the land being dry versus not being dry,
That's a
because
big
it's
thing.
sand, right? Sand retains water. Like where clay and all the other ones, they'll leak water very quickly, but sand really, really retains the water. So if it's been raining before, like a heavy hurricane or whatever, it just doesn't have time to drain it. It just really doesn't have time to drain it. But I do remember, like, going back 10 years back, we would get some type of where I would have people invited over to my house and they had to, like, walk through goddamn puddles that were ankle
I don't
high
know. I
just
just
to
feel
get.
like in the last 10 years, the flooding is substantially worse.
I think we pay more attention to it. I think with social media and everything, we pay more attention to it. But I think,
No, I mean like what I physically see.
yeah, I know. But it's pointed out to you a lot more through social media because you're
Maybe
getting.
My deduction did not come from social media at all. It's just I,
that's what I'm saying. But he's saying
the
like
flooding's actually getting
you pay more
insane.
attention to it just because of how much like you're constantly seeing hurricane stuff coming. You
Yeah,
know it's about
before-
to flood.
I'm
during,
personally
and
paying
after.
attention because I had to wait 45 minutes for the flooding to hopefully go down a bit so that I can get home, which never happened.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. To me, that has happened where I've driven my Civic into a fucking
Oh,
water and it sucked in water where it, like, good thing was it wasn't a lot. So engine was hot and dried it all out and I could drive again. But I've gone through shit like that.
Today it rained for how long, Miggy, before we left? 15 minutes, bro.
Like 20-30 minutes.
It was not 20-30 minutes. It was like
It started
15.
sprinkling. Like
No, it was good. It was.
No. What I was trying to say is before me and Miguel left, because we left at right around 5 o'clock, it was only raining for 15, let's say 15 to 30 minutes, somewhere in that range. Bro, that parking lot flooded so fast.
I got there, what was it, like 340, 350 around
Yeah,
there? And
yeah.
then we left at 5.
Yeah.
So in less than an hour 15, that shit got flooded. Like what?
Yeah, because the land is inundated with water. Like there's a lot of water in that sand right now.
I think that area in particular is very, very prone to flooding.
Yeah, because northeast of St. Peter is known for flooding. Like everyone knows that area floods, no matter what. Everybody
Our
always has
office
pictures
is-
of catfishes and shit.
right after Almerton on 49th
Yeah.
Street, basically.
Like after Almater, yeah, it's a pretty low area right there, and it does get flooded.
Yeah, the streets were flooded.
Can you pull up the elevation map of St. Petersburg, Florida?
Well, that's not in St. Petersburg, is it? That's
Clearwater.
that's in
We'll
Clearwater.
just do elevation map of Pinellas Park, or Pinellas County. Yeah, there you go. So, click on it. So everything that's green, it's higher elevation, and everything that's zoom in a little more. All right, so
Yeah, go a little more south. Go not that north.
yeah, see, there's like a little bit of a hill in St. Pete, and we're literally right on it. Our homes are right
Yeah.
on it.
And then you can see here, right where, right before the curve of 49, or sorry, of that area, it gets green.
Mm-hmm.
So the red means higher
High.
elevation.
Mm-hmm. That's further up though.
Yeah, you can see how the edges get a little bluer and stuff.
Yeah, and those are all water channels and areas close to like lakes and shit. And majority of St. Pete is pretty low. Like look at all the northeast part, like and closer to the water. All that shit gets flooded, like including the Clearwater Airport. Look, Clearwater Airport is straight up in a flood zone.
Yeah, man. It's not very good looking, this area, man. One good hurricane, St. Pete could be gone, bro. Like what was that hurricane that just when it came it just sat there? Andrew and Katrina, I think both were some of those hurricanes. Andrew specifically for Texas was the big thing. Bro, that hurricane just sat there. It was moving at less than 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Right? And at times it was like even moving at 2-3 miles an hour. When that happens, if that ever happens here in St. Pete.
So I think what would happen,
We're
number
fucked.
one is gonna be all the mobile homes. Mobile homes are gonna be completely fucked.
Mobile
right?
homes are truly going to be mobile.
Yeah, they're gonna, yeah.
They're gonna be
truly
placed somewhere
mobile.
else.
Yeah, they're gonna be mobile. But the thing with this one was the problem. See, with the hurricanes, the problem is not the winds. The flooding is the big problem with hurricanes. It's
Well,
the
though,
flooding.
This particular one, it was a surge.
It's a surge, yeah.
Storm surge. It wasn't even actual flooding from rain.
Yeah.
It was all the storm surge from the sea.
Yeah. So any hurricane has that storm surge flooding component
Not
to it.
necessarily, because remember the last one when it hit south of us, we got the opposite effect. It pooled water from
Yeah,
us.
but then they got hit.
Yes.
Like when they had like their highways
That's
flooded.
it. All just depends on how the hurricane
Yeah.
comes through.
So what I'm saying, if it does
Since this
come
one
towards us,
went over us, that's why we got that
so
flooding.
if it does come towards us, like if you blow it back out, on a map, if you blow it back out, I think all that area right there where it's like kind of bluish green, all that shit's gonna be flooded. No questions about it. The ones that are like 10 meters, because 19 meters, 10 meters, like 18 meters, 16 meters, 16 meters, that's basically what, that's 30, no, that's more, that's, you're looking at what, 30, 40, 50 feet above water.
There was
We're
a
not
point
getting
in
that
time where the
shit.
majority of St. Petersburg was covered in water.
Yeah, there was a point in time that will happen. So they had 35, they had what, 35 feet of water.
Those are meters, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we are sitting, like we're sitting on about 18 meters, which is gonna be what, 60 feet.
I don't think we're actually that high. That's what that says, but right now I can tell you, and that's not how high we are. That is not how high we are.
Well, the elevation in certain area changes, even if it's just by a spot.
Yeah. No,
So,
no, I
like,
get
for
that.
example, this area right here.
We're at
Like, yeah, this whole entire area is fucked. This is okay, but then you got areas like this one right here that still have that yellow spot that still will get flooded, especially because of this.
Yep.
Well, that little area
The
won't.
whole entire area is full of lakes.
Yeah, but that little area won't. That little area will not. That's what I'm trying to say.
So the whole thing here is right now we're at a 50 foot of elevation.
That's what I'm
currently.
saying. 50 feet. That water has to rise by 50 feet for us to even notice that.
Not technically, because you're saying of like sea level overall. Our tide constantly changes up and down.
No,
up
I
and
get
down.
that. But
So-
what I'm saying, that water has to be 50 feet, including rain and everything. It has to be 50 feet high for us to even know.
But that's
like, for
here
us
in
to
this
flood.
exact area.
Correct.
This area is
Correct.
extremely high. This is the
Yeah,
highest.
but then you look at the other areas, like, some of them are going, not below, right? Obviously, but some of them are getting 2 meters, 3 meters,
yeah, man.
and below that, right? Like by the water, it's
That's
even
a
below
massive
that.
difference.
So that's your, like, right there. That's your 5 feet.
And that's a lot of
That's
St.
your
Pete.
3 feet. Yeah.
That's
Well,
a lot
yeah.
of St. Pete. That's on the edge there in that blue to
Yeah.
almost green zone.
That's
But
what we
I'll-
have.
like I'm
Can you
saying,
do
man,
evacuation zones, Pinellas Park? Yeah, so there you go. Click that. And this is gonna give us a good idea what is considered evacuation zone, what's not. Okay, yeah, blow it out. So all this red is like 100% evacuation zone, right? That's zone A. Then you got the orange, which is zone B, which is evacuation. Zone C, evacuation. Then you got D, E, and then those mobile homes, which those are the ones that are gonna go, right? So E is basically whatever, you know what I mean? And that's
our area is not even marked.
that correct. We're not even like, everybody comes to us
But
because that's
look
how
how
high
much-
we are.
Look how much of, like, if you put it in percentage wise, red is a big percentage.
100%. What
Red
I'm
is a
trying to
big
say,
percentage. So
even if we get
imagine
a
if
big
all-
hurricane sitting on us, we in our area, we're not gonna get flooded.
no,
It's
in our
people-
specific area,
yeah.
but when you're talking about the overall of St. Pete,
Yeah,
most of
they're gonna
St.
get
Pete
hit.
would be gone.
Nah, I don't know if zone D's will be gone. I don't know if zone D's and E's will be gone, but
But just with zone
C
A,
definitely gonna be in
just with
danger.
O, B,
A, B, C.
with A and B, you're talking about a good 40% of the
Yeah.
fucking land, man.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
a big part of
Yes.
this literally being covered in water.
Yes. No,
And
that's fact.
Imagine one of those hurricanes like Andrew or Katrina just comes and just, because those are the ones that really suck, man. When
Well,
when they move through quickly, it sucks, but at least it's gone. It's
Well,
here and it's gone. Like that Thursday night, what Friday morning, nothing. Friday. Imagine if that hurricane was sitting here 3 to 4 days. That's when the real bad issues come, man. You saw how bad Texas was during that last. It was Andrew, right?
Yeah.
Bro, that was.
But then again, Texas is not really kind of, they kind of got a taste of it. Same thing with New Orleans. They kind of got a taste of
Recently,
it.
yeah, with
Yeah,
this
'cause
one, yeah.
we Florida in this area, Florida are used to this shit. We're constantly getting hammered by hurricanes, right? So
The big issue with Helene was storm surge. We were not
Yeah.
predicting this amount of storm surge, and
Well, they-
that's where.
well,
that's
they
where
said
things,
5 to 8. They said 5 to 8 feet of storm surge, and people still elected to stay in their homes. That was the biggest mistake. That literally.
I don't think they estimated
What's the
that
what's the
much.
casualties in Florida? Can you look up casualties in
6.
Florida? Huh? 600?
6. Well, actually, there was 6, but then some other people came up.
Yeah, because
Helene casualty, Florida.
people were
OMG.
calling the cops and saying, "Hey, come rescue us." Cops were like, "We can't."
You were told to leave.
Yeah, you were told we can't, and they're like, "Well, can't you send the cars?" Like, how? And then we'll send a helicopter. In what? In a storm?
Yeah.
We can't do
Helene
that.
death
And they
toll,
pretty much told people to take permanent
200,
markers and write
220
down
according
on
to
their
Fox.
bodies their names and stuff.
But that's all over.
How many?
It says 220, but that's all. That's in total.
Yeah, just Florida. Dude, just Florida.
200 still came up for the Florida search.
Helene is the deadliest mainland U.S. hurricane since Katrina.
19 in Florida.
19 in Florida. Look, 19. That's like 10% of all the people that have passed, which tells you. And the other ones didn't even get hit by a hurricane.
Well, South Georgia still did.
Yeah,
South Georgia
but
did.
like it just tells you how ready and prepared Florida is
Oh,
on a
yeah.
mass scale, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the mountainous areas, they were
Suffered
not
hard,
they're
man.
like the ones that have hills that can get flooded. They were not expecting that.
No, because it's their rivers got
Oh yeah, man.
overflooded.
I was
Everything.
talking. I was talking to Justin and Justin and Alex and Calvin. You know, they live in Tennessee and North Carolina. Some of the people they know, man, literally got their roofs ripped off their houses.
Mm.
Yeah,
And you think about it, and you're like, well, that didn't happen like that here in Florida.
correct.
it
Because
did.
of the
It did.
It did,
In
but
Tampa.
not on such a.
Yeah,
Think about it, bro.
our
It
homes are
happened.
built
It
differently.
happened here when it was a Category 4 hurricane.
Yeah.
But it happened there when it was a fucking tropical depression.
Yeah,
Yeah,
our
that's
homes
because
are built.
I was
different.
literally watching a
we
video.
we are well, Florida, literally, physically, metaphysically, spiritually is built different.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
That is true. But our homes are literally made for hurricanes. Theirs
Yeah.
are not. You know, like our roofs, all of our roofs here in Florida that
They're
are
stamped.
they're strapped from that roof is somehow all the way connected to the foundation of the concrete.
Well, it's not
From the framing to the house
way-
to that roof is all connected.
the way you
and-
rip the roof off is because roof doesn't get ripped off just because the wind passes over the home. What happens as the wind passes over the home, they'll throw debris into the home, and they'll pierce windows, they'll pierce doors, they'll pierce walls. When that happens, air starts getting in through that hole and literally just lifts the roof off.
I don't know about that, Jay.
That's
I mean,
number one
I
cause.
get what you're saying, but when you see some of these roofs being ripped off, it's not just the roof that goes. Sometimes the whole side of the house goes
Yes,
with
of
it.
course. Yeah.
Right? So that's just sheer fucking wind, bro.
Yeah. No, of course. It's just the
So-
wind that elevates all that
But
shit.
like
right?
you I was watching this video, and it's the framing of this wall, right? Has that bottom stud that goes
Yeah.
all the way across, and that stud is going in straight into the
yeah,
foundation. Then that is wrapped to the roof,
Mhm.
completely solid, to make sure it's all connected down.
Yes,
they don't
of
do
course.
that in the rest of the
No, they don't
US.
because like, well, we're not gonna get any hurricanes,
yeah,
right?
we don't have something
not
coming to
planning
blow
for
my
that
roof
shit.
off.
I changed
Yeah,
my
you do.
one thing that changed my perspective that kind of made something click in my brain was when we were on the cruise. Well, obviously I've been
And
on
that-
another cruise before, but leaving the door open and the balcony door open, and it kind of just slams the door because of the wind pressure, and it kind of creates like this vacuum,
The
Yep.
back pressure, yeah.
and it's not a lot of wind,
No. No.
but it's
Not a
enough
lot
to
of wind is
create
required, yeah.
enough pressure to forcefully shut the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we went to a bachelor party we were on a cruise on a bachelor Matt's bachelor party, and we went through some rough waters where I think they were talking about 11-foot waves, and bro, that was crazy because the boat was literally like you could feel the boat
Yeah.
rocking, especially in the top deck, bro. It was like
You
it was
ever
bad.
see you ever see those guys that do commercial fishing like real far deep
Yeah,
out
yeah,
for
yeah.
weeks at a time?
Then
Their
jump
kitchen,
up in the
no,
air and
no, their
shit.
kitchens. How the stove, the sink, everything is set up on a swivel
Mhm.
in there. So like I've seen videos of these guys, they're cooking and they're getting tossed around the room, but their stove, because it's on
With
that
the
swivel,
gimbal shit.
it's literally like on a gimbal, yeah, flat, stays flat.
Yeah.
It's constantly spinning and none of the shit falls off and stuff. But the dude is getting thrown around
Yeah.
and shit, and the stove is fine.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Florida was just ready
We
for
built
it, you know?
different,
Yeah.
dog. We simply built different, and
But
that's
like
because we've
so many
gone
people
through
know
it so
so
much.
much shit, man.
Like
So-
you know, when the hurricane.
Oh, and the Kamala Harris came out. They said they'll give us $750 per person. Hell yeah.
I feel bad because we're like celebrating our 750, but the reason we got our 750 is because 230 people are dead.
Yeah, well, we're getting 750, but in the meantime, we're sending 200 billion somewhere else.
Oh, that's another conversation. All right.
Just saying.
So,
Just saying,
uh,
bro.
what was I gonna get at?
I don't think the other side would do any
Florida's
better.
just built different, man. We've gone through it so much, and it's just so significantly different than what the rest of the world is used to, right? But everyone has their own shit, though, right?
You know who got this shit dumb packed? Japanese, bro. Them motherfuckers. They're
Well, they get
buildings
hit
for
by
like
typhoons left and right.
yeah, they're
And
from like
tsunamis
years and
and
years of
they have the worst because they get typhoons,
So-
which are technically
yeah.
hurricanes, right? It's the same shit. They just call it. They get hurricanes, they get the tsunamis, and they
and
get the
earthquakes.
earthquakes.
Yeah, all of it.
Right? They get
And they
full
got buildings
shebang.
standing for 1600 years,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, but comparison, right? The day before the hurricane was my last day at the UFC gym, right? And I was talking to Alyssa
Maybe-
and her mom and stuff, and because they're from California, you
Yeah.
know, they've only been here for the better part of only like 6 months, you know, and they're scared shitless, literally scared shitless. This hurricane's coming. It's hurricanes. It's hurricanes. Hurricane. And I told them, I was like, and what if it was a fucking an earthquake, you know? And they're like, and I'm like, yeah, and I'd be scared shitless because I never felt the fucking ground shake.
Yeah.
I don't know what that feels like, you know. Also in California, you know, I heard this in school. I remember this is all the way from middle school. Damn, I can't believe I remember this. My gym teacher, he was also like our health and stuff teacher. I remember he told us that he had his sister come over from California to visit. And she's an architect. And after becoming an architect, she remembers coming over here and be like, what the fuck? All your buildings are made out of concrete. What the fuck are y'all doing here? What is this? And it's because in California, they don't like using concrete because the
The
concrete
earthquake.
doesn't tolerate vibrations.
Yeah.
Concrete receives vibration and it crumbles, right? Versus wood can tolerate vibrations. It doesn't structurally mess with the wood in that sense like it does cement. Here, on the other hand, we made everything out of wood. It's gonna blow away in every hurricane.
Yeah, well, if it's not that, then termites gonna fucking have a buffet.
Or termites are gonna have a buffet, which is what's happening with all the houses that were built before the 60s and 50s in downtown St. Pete. They're all literally like the.
You blow. You
they all
blow.
have the structural integrity of that cardboard box right there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's how good they
That's
are.
that big bad wolf, right? And he blows, he huffs and puffs and blows, and the fucking walls fall off.
I mean, I've literally worked in houses in downtown St. Pete that I, with no doubt in my mind, if you gave us three just some hammers, we'd take the whole house down. Literally take the whole entire house down because it's just like some of the walls wouldn't even require the hammer. It would just require like a nice push, and the whole wall's gone. You know, I've seen houses like that, and it sucks too because all the houses that are like that are the flipper houses.
Have you
You
seen
know,
the,
so they just come in with that paint and
Yeah.
they just slap new windows on like brand new house.
Have you seen those videos, bro, where people are like trying to knock down a wall and then they're trying to push it, and then as they push it, and they fucking barely get out of the way, and the wall almost crushes them? You ever seen those videos?
Oh yeah. For example, I saw. Oh my god, this one's scary. They were. I don't know why the fuck they did this. It was a concrete wall, and it wasn't too thick, and they were banging out the bottom of it first, so that way they
Yeah.
could just tap the top. Dude, when that man tapped it, that shit fell right on top of him. Right on top of him. The wall literally just came from the top, pop, dropped a couple inches, and came right on top of him. Straight up concrete wall too.
Bro, I don't know.
That's
But-
just scary.
And another thing is, you know what? We use a lot of cinder block here. We use
Yeah,
cinder
man.
block here.
Yeah, man. It's a concrete.
Yeah, but like when I was in Louisiana, they used a lot of brick.
Older construction.
Yeah,
They have a
lot
lot of old
brick.
architecture there. So you still see stuff made out of brick here, but it's just that old style
was think-
architecture that they have there. And
And I was thinking
I
this
mean,
has
some
to
of
be
those
cost
buildings gotta
and
be brick.
fucking has to be cost and somebody actually knowing how to lay brick, because it's not that, because you imagine like cinder
back in the
blocks you
day,
have to.
it was very, very, very common.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is back in the day, people actually knew how to do this shit. Now here, I don't know if you can find somebody in the entire city of St. Pete that can lay brick
Oh, you can.
and be straight and like good. You know what I mean?
I've done a brick wall and made it straight with Randy. Yeah, we did that shit pretty well too. It was the first one we did. Yeah. It's not-
Have you been by there lately to check out and make sure the wall is still
you
there?
want to know what's the funniest part about that project? We do these walls, and it's the first time Randy had done like a brick wall like that big. You know, he's worked with brick before, but the reason we were doing these 2 brick walls is because we had to make these 2 brick walls that were about 4 feet, 3.5 feet high, that were like 16 foot long, in the middle of this room because they were getting a new machine for the granite cutter. And Randy asked the guy, so it was a 15 foot gap in between the 2 walls, something like that, 12, I don't remember. And Randy asked the guy, so in between the walls or from the edge of the walls? And the guy said in between. So we made it in between. He brought that fucking machine in. It was supposed to be 15 from the outside walls, not the inside walls.
So you had to come in and lay a brick in between.
Bro, not us. They did that shit. They went and just literally built another wall right next to one of the walls that we built to be able to put the machine up. But yeah, that shit's not easy too. And working with brick fucks your hands.
It does.
Really, really
and
fucks your hands.
Every line of brick, you have to have the fucking line has to everything has to be perfect.
Oh
man.
yeah, it has to
you
be
cannot,
very, very
like
perfect.
if it varies by a millimeter, it's fucking done.
You know where they do a lot of bricklaying still? London. Not London, but England.
England,
in
yeah.
general, yeah.
Lithuania is big on brick too.
I watch a lot of videos when I was doing construction, right? Because Instagram knows.
Yeah.
When I was doing construction, I ran into a lot of videos of guys that were laying brick in
it's big. In foreign countries, brick is pretty big. Like cinder block is big in United States and like islands.
You see the way they get the brick look now on.
They're putting those fucking forms and shit.
They just basically stamp the concrete.
Like half of the buildings out here that are brick
aren't actually brick.
Yeah, no, it's stamped.
It's stamped, yeah, and then painted.
Yeah, it's so funny. There's this building on 49th Street in Park. If you look at it from the front, it looks like it's all brick. But then there's one area that you look from the side on the top of the roof, you can see that brick comes around and just kind of like lays over this cinder block.
Yeah.
So they kind of like left that 2 feet of space
that
like
happens
empty
a lot
and
too.
finishing up.
Nowadays, if you see anything being built with brick, it's not the actual wall being built with brick. They're just finishing it.
My house from the front looks like brick, but it's not.
Yeah, it's just a finishing of the bottom half of the house.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, right.
And that's how you're gonna see brick being done nowadays too, mostly. I mean,
but yeah, Helene did a lot of fucking damage, and you know what was the?
How do we claim our 750? Let the people know.
How do we claim it?
Don't you have to do something just like before?
Apparently you gotta apply through
FEMA or whatever.
Not FEMA, through government website. That's what basically Kamala was saying. So I'm guessing whatever, but so Helene did a lot of damage. But one thing that I didn't like too much is like people going on social media and saying, "Oh, you had a little hurricane. That's how much damage was done. This many people died. Now imagine Gaza." And I'm like, really, bruh? Like this is what we've come down to?
Comparing the horrors?
Like you're talking about
we're measuring dicks on when it comes to the horrors of the world.
Pretty much like, okay, like there's shit going on there, and I might be very radical when it comes to this, but it's their fucking country, man. Their country we had a 9/11 here. What happened? We damn near leveled half of Muslim countries out there that were involved in it. Not only we leveled them, then we went to the other fucking countries and leveled those bitches too.
With consent.
With consent. Yeah. What were they gonna say? No? Please no? Yeah. Like, this whole whole thing of has it fucking gone overboard? Yes, it did, but it's their country. Well, how dare you go out there and say what one country can do versus another one, right? Like, it's just life.
Yeah, but that's you gotta have you gotta have a world police.
Well, you do.
You gotta have a world police.
Yeah, you do.
You do, because then you
a lot of people say
the mustaches that come out.
Yeah, and then a lot of people, go out there is like, well, who died and made United States the world police? Well, we did. We made ourselves the world police.
We won that war.
We came in with the big stick in Oppenheimer and made ourselves the world police.
We said we're gonna be it, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And I think world is better for it. You know what I mean? Like if I don't think any other country would have done this. What we done.
That conversation we had the other day about you brought up we're talking about the horrors of Hiroshima and what happened and stuff, but you were saying it just was kind of necessary at that point, and I argued with you, and I put a point to you and my dad that I was saying I can't help but not believe that. You know what I mean? because we looked up the numbers and it was the better part of 250,000 people
Mm-hmm.
that were killed, were straight up murdered on that day. It was
Yeah.
on those 2 days. Sorry.
248.
Yeah, it was like 250,000, and then that's what died during that
That
week or
day.
whatever. People died years and years to come after that due to the effects that happened. So I don't believe 250,000 is the accurate number. I
don't
would
think
say
so
it's
either.
I would say it's probably easily another 50,000 or more after
50. You probably quadruple that number,
that.
bro.
Well, who knows, right? It's more than that. We can agree on that. Um, I just can't help believe that there had to have been something else to do. But
What are you gonna like? See, this is the thing. Like,
I don't have the answer. But you know what I mean.
someone
Like,
attacks you as
the
a
morality
country.
in me just I can't help believe, but it had to have been something else to
It's
do.
like it's like if somebody's the bully, right? And like you see these videos, and then somebody will stand up to the bully and then beat the shit out of this bully, like actually beat the shit out of him, right? Because if you have beat a bully, they're gonna or not do anything about it. Bully's gonna think that it's okay to continue to do this shit to you. So it's like that whole proverbial fight fire with fire, right? Like that's what you have to do. And a lot of
and the,
times,
I was taught in history and stuff that the Japanese were savages. They were not gonna surrender.
yeah, no, it's
You
their
know.
culture, right? Like Japanese culture has never surrendered in
Yeah.
anything they've ever done.
Yeah.
That's why they're the best at whatever. Even at making coal, they're the best, right? Like they just random shit like that. That like they
And then you
take
look at
everything to the extreme.
and and it's everything, right? Like they're
Everything, literally everything,
So
bro.
and then you
Whatever
look
they
at the
take up,
size,
they
and
make
then
the
you look at the
best.
size of their country in comparison to others, and
Yeah.
you're like, wow,
They
the
came
things
in-
they've done is insane.
They've been drinking rice wine all their life, and then decided we're gonna start making whiskey. And they literally took the entire whiskey market and told everybody to fuck off because they have the best whiskey in the world. You know
And
what I'm
Japanese
saying?
whiskey is praised.
It's the
highly.
best whiskey in the world. Period.
Yeah, Japanese whiskey is praised.
Like I don't
highly.
care who you from, what Scotland part of the world you are, and this and that. They still make the best whiskey, man. Like I'm telling you, even coal, bro. The coal that they make for barbecue, like these people take such pride in this art of making fucking coal. It's just.
And like it's all across. It's like
Have
you
you
said with
seen their
everything.
die-cast cars?
Die-cast card. What do you mean?
Like just a little simple thing. You go into a store in Japan to buy a die-cast car.
Mm-hmm.
You literally can get modifications to every single little aspect of this car.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like whether it's the rims, it's the tires,
And then
everything, the
and
lights.
I was actually gonna say cars too, because two of the most iconic motors that were ever produced in the world over history
It's
have
Japan.
have come from Japan. The RB26 and the 2J.
Yeah.
Those are motors that are still used to this day for any car you could think that would go on a drag strip.
So my point here is why I'm saying this. My point was with the Pearl Harbor. Like, do you think they were not gonna pull all the stops? They pulled all the fucking like. They're just doing what they've known how to do best, and be best at what they do, whether it's a good or bad. It's just that's the culture, right? And a lot of shit came out from Japan. Like the entire electronic revolution came from Japan. All the Kodaks and Sonys and you name it, Toshibas, which
The watch revolution, the quartz crisis,
everything came from Japan because they just take everything so serious. To the.
I think they were the ones that started making like the most economic cars at first too. Like when it comes to like gas
I
mileage.
mean, look at
and stuff like
Toyotas and
that.
Lexus,
Yeah, the best.
Hondas, bro. Like
Yeah.
just you can't mess with that. Mazda was not doing so
Even
well, and
even
they even
Nissan
got
is
that shit
looked
together.
at like when it comes to like reliability and
Yeah.
mileage and stuff like that, is looked at as like they're the shitty little brother, and they're still better than most of the competition around
Yeah.
the world.
But it is what it is, and just I don't know,
I
man.
can't wait. I can't wait.
And
to go
then
to
this
Japan.
is now
That's gonna
this
be an
begs the
awesome trip.
question, right? You take in Middle Eastern countries, which Israel is a Middle Eastern country, and then you take in Iran, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and all these people, and now with them you have this ideology of this like crazy religious part of things behind it, and they're very like hot-blooded. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? There's going to always
That's-
be a conflict there, man.
That's something that even here in the U.S. we still have a big problem with, is religion influencing stuff. And
Well,
even
look,
though even though a long time ago we had decided to remove the religion and state, but it
religion
still
does.
is.
Yeah, because that's part of your population, right? So you kind of have to follow what the population wants. Proverbial price of democracy, right? But the whole thing is here with religion, you're not getting violence over there. Like over there, they'll kill their own people if they're like half Muslim. Like in Iran, like if you're just half Muslim, like
Right.
you don't follow all the laws, they will literally slaughter you there. Like it's just crazy how it works. Like it's not every Muslim is a terrorist, but most terrorists come from Muslim countries. There's a reason behind it, right? Like, how the stereotypes work out. Like stereotypes is like a, quick way of us thinking about something where we can make calculated decisions. That's where the stereotypes come from. You take a group of people and
This is the funny part to me. It's like I've never had a Hispanic person tell me they've been offended by the word beaner. We eat a lot of beans, dog.
no, clearly well, here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying, though, right? It's like another stereotype, right?
Let me tell you this, bro.
True. I mean,
So there was this girl, I forget, she was in Canada. She's a doctoral student, and she started dressing up in a hijab to prove that there's an innate Muslim hate within Canadian culture. She put a hijab on, and she would go out there, and she noticed that people are super nice to her, like extremely fucking nice to her. So she came back and said, it's due to their Islamophobia that they're extremely nice to me. So in the West, we have created this shit. If you're not nice to somebody, you're Islamophobe, and if you're nice to them, you're Islamophobe because you're making up for not like.
see, I think what the whole thing is like them being extra nice is just they're scared to offend.
They're scared to offend, correct?
I think that
But it does have nothing to do with being Islamophobe.
That's what I was gonna say is that in some cases maybe
Yeah,
in some, but I think in the majority, I think that scared to offend someone doesn't necessarily mean you
yeah.
dislike.
And that whole thing, like this whole thing that was created by the Western world, man. Like this whole idea was created by Western. Nowhere in the rest of the world, anyone the cultural appropriation, right? Like, this was created by white people, bro.
I think that the fear there is just them not wanting to offend, and that comes from the fear of ignorance as well.
And that's all it is. It's just virtue signaling. Like I'm signaling virtue to someone else. Like I'm a better person than you because I think about these things.
Yeah, they want to be like they want to be right. They want to be in the right.
Well, then not only in a right to show in some way that they're better than you because to me,
I don't know if it's necessarily better than you. I think it's really just they want to make sure they're meeting the standards of other people.
Man, I think there's more to it than just meeting standards of other people. I think there's just like literally virtue signaling.
Yeah, I
They're
think
signaling their virtue
think
that they're
in that
more
case,
virtuous
right,
person.
where it's like we're saying you're scared to offend someone, right? I don't think it's like I want to be better than you. It's I want to make sure I don't look like a bad person to everyone else.
Yeah, but like for example, like you ever noticed me saying anything to a Hispanic person with an idea that I might fucking offend them or anything like that? No, because simply an average person, in my opinion, an average person doesn't give a fuck where you from, where you like. An average person just kind of lives their life without even fucking batting an eye. You could be Hispanic, you could be whatever, Yeah, are there fucking racists out there? 100%. Like I'm not taking that away, but what I'm saying is like an average person, like this whole virtue signaling shit, I think has gone fucking way, way overboard, way overboard, and to the point where somebody, let's say that's like Jewish coming from an Islamic country and then laying thick on Islam, right? They're considered, oh, you're like somehow Islamophobe. Like, motherfucker, I speak the fucking language. I grew up in this situation. What the fuck are you talking about? My neighbors were that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I think it's just clearly like we just have nothing else to do. It's like a white man problem, and we're creating these fucking problems.
I don't know.
Anyway, but I know I led the conversation down a dark rabbit hole.
Let's finish up for today. We were a little past.
What'd you have pulled up, Miggy? You have something pulled up here.
My favorite pastime now.
What is it?
Watching people get fucked in court.
Oh, this dude's an ass though. he's like he's just a smart ass.
Yeah,
he's a smart ass.
Which one?
The one with the glasses on the right.
This one in particular is kind of funny.
Oh yeah, this one's hilarious.
You guys won't be able to hear it.
No, we can't hear it. We can be able to hear it.
It is YouTube, so. Let me put on. I want to rehear this again. This is kind of funny.
Bro, the volume is really nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
Just incapable of staying out of trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Now, case number 34. What do we need to do to get you to exercise self-control? Do you have a job? That's why. In your life, as a result, you have way too much time on your hands, so you become self-destructive. And what do? Just smoke weed all day? Is that all you do? I'm sending you for a drug test now. You wanna bet money on it? Sorry.
This is a smart ass, bro.
You want to put some jail on it?
Just incapable of staying out of trouble. 1, 2.
He is a smart ass, bro. That's
He-
hilarious. He,
he
said, "You
is-
want to bet on it?" He said, "You ain't got shit going on in your life."
Well, you so somebody would name him fucking racist.
Yeah, he does that to everyone.
But that's
I've
what I'm
seen
trying to
multiple-
say.
He does do. He does some reaching a lot of the time too.
Oh, for sure. But
This guy came in and he was taking oxycodone because he supposedly had an injury from a surgery.
Yeah, and
And
pain
he-
or whatever.
Yeah, and he was taking that. And he's like, I can't believe they prescribed to you. I'm gonna contact this doctors and tell them to not prescribe you this. This is crazy. I was like, you can't just tell a
a
doctor.
doctor what to prescribe, fucker.
Their order. I looked it up, and the doctor's orders are higher than what a.
No, I understand that, but a lot of people will literally. I mean, you can ask this to your, I shouldn't say. You can, if somebody's willing to talk to you and they're willing to bypass HEPA laws and not really reveal any information, they will tell you that a lot of times people will call, and they literally would say like, prescribe my meds for me, and then the doctor would say, I don't think this is a good idea, but they'll go to another doctor that will prescribe these meds because they're just generating money, right?
And then go
and-
back and say, "I want a refill from you."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's literally an issue. Like the oxy's supposed to last you only maybe 5 to 6 days max. I don't care what kind of surgery, what kind of injury you have. At one point, would
No,
it
I
become
think with major surgery is a little longer,
okay? Fine, let's say 10 days.
like something like your back and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, so 12 days. Because after that amount of time of
Yeah, I
you
would say max
chewing on
2
that is
weeks.
TikToks,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I would say max.
What do you
2
think is gonna
weeks.
happen? Now the pain is because you're in a
Well,
withdrawal.
with what is it called, with opioids like that?
Yeah.
Your dependence starts in the first few days.
Well, there you go. Like, what happened to tramadol? You know, lidocaine, which back in the day, none of that shit existed, right?
Yeah.
What happened to that? People were fucking taking tramadol and lidocaine, no problem, and everybody somehow was dealing with fucking pain.
But I don't think tramadol and lidocaine are gonna help with like that's not gonna cover the pain.
Well,
of, like, a
I mean, but
massive
they
back
did the same
surgery
type of surgeries.
and
They
knee. They didn't have anything else.
yeah, they did the same surgeries back in the day too, and they did them probably with less fucking
You have to-
equipment and less
you have to think-
technology.
you have to think about it this way: if you're coming out of surgery and all they want for you is to feel a little comfortable because they know you're in a shit ton of pain because they just poked around in you for
I
hours
get
at
that.
a time.
But that's
right?
part of your
So,
natural body, bro.
Well, it's not part of your natural body to get opened up.
Well, it's not,
So,
but it's natural body.
if-
The pain actually helps you
if-
heal.
When you come out of there, right, and you're like, yeah, I'm in massive pain right now. Okay, well, we're gonna just give you something to kind of dial down the pain.
What's up,
okay?
Rodolfo?
That's what we have right now. Okay, then give me what you have, and yeah, okay, that works. Yeah, it did help with my pain. All right. Now it's like I'm coming out of there and I'm full of this pain. All right, let's give you what we can give you, and that is not only gonna get rid of your pain, it's gonna make you high as fuck.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be nice and happy and lucid and all these things, and they're making
And-
you feel comfortable. What can I say?
Yeah, but are they really though? Are they really though? It's like the OnlyFans girls, like, they make their money up front without understanding that fast money has very slow consequences. So they're taking this fast medicine that's very, very bad consequences down the road. So at the end of the day, like, our bodies are designed naturally The pain is actually is a signal from your brain to your body to produce X amount of blood cells and material to rebuild. So you're hindering the production of this thing. Yeah, your body naturally is gonna do it, but the pain is what actually helps it.
Yeah, but they have other stuff to help you heal. So.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it up here. Thank
Anyway.
you, anyone, for joining us in the chat. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Check out the official sponsors: UFC Gym, Largo, and Pinellas Park, and Vitality Wellness Center. Go check those things out, guys. Next week we're gonna try and have some guests on. I'm trying to line up some stuff now.
hopefully we get our Russian.
Yeah, let's do that. We can get him on. And I talked to Corey today, and he couldn't come today, but we're gonna set something up for next time. And we're gonna try and do a large panel. I would like to do that. Even if we have to set it up in the living room for one day and do it that way,
5,
whatever
6, 7
it is.
people
Yeah.
or 8 people. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm thinking six. Six will probably be our number. Nothing crazy, just because I don't have that much couch space. I mean, but yeah. Thank you for joining us, guys. We'll catch you next episode.
Peace.
Peace.
Motherfucker.